Welcome back to Sports Sunday. You know, Patrick Murphy has built a monster softball program at Rhodes Stadium. Earlier in the show, we told you that the Tide advanced to their record 11th consecutive Super Regional.
This week, I got the chance to sit down with Coach Murphy for this week's edition of One-on-One with Jen. And we start off with Coach remembering his first season as the head coach 17 seasons ago, waiting to hear if the team got into the NCAA tournament for the first time.
We all gathered up in my boss's office at the time. There was no TV to announce the selection show. And so it was all on a teleconference. So we put the phone on speaker and all the girls crowded into her office. And we didn't know at the time, but they had announced our name, the very first name of the tournament that year. We were the 6th seed at UCLA, and they were the #1 seed. There was technical difficulties on the call, so we thought the whole bracket was done. And I can remember thinking, gosh, we didn't make it. You know, we'd won 39 games, and you know, one of my goals was to get to the NCAA tournament every single year. And as soon as I was about to dismiss the team, the lady on the telephone said, "We're so sorry. Some portions of the country didn't hear the whole bracket. We'll come back in a second and repeat everything." So then I looked around, I was like, God, we might have made it. And then they come back, and we would have been the very first team named. And then of course we celebrated, and you know, from that first moment to now Sunday night, 17 years in a row, it doesn't get old. It never gets old.
So with that being your goal and you're achieving that goal, what's the secret?
Really good coaching staff, the best assistant coaches, consistency. Allie's been with me for all 17 years. Steph was a player and now is pitching coach. Molly was a player and now the volunteer coach. The quality of the kids we get, the athletes. I always say if we're gonna miss, we're gonna miss on talent. We're not gonna miss on character, because I want really, really good kids. And I think they'll take you farther than a great athlete who's not a good kid. And so we've bypassed some 5-star kids because we weren't sure about their character. But everybody on this team right now, they're above a 3.0. They're going to be SEC academic honor roll. You know, they're going to graduate. They're great kids, and I have no trouble at all with them. And that's been kind of the story from day one.
Do you think some of that comes from your Iowa background then, just the way Midwestern traits are?
Probably. I never really thought about it, but you know, Iowa people are honest, loyal, hardworking, you know, no thrills, no frills, just get after it. And I always consider myself an underdog, no matter what. Even after we won in 2012, it was still this underdog mentality, because I think in the SEC especially, if you don't work hard, you will get run over in a hurry. And it doesn't matter what sport, softball, baseball, football, whatever. If you think you're there and you think you've reached the point, you're going to get passed quicker than you can say, you know, national champion.
The attendance records are usually set here at Alabama, or the top in the country. Did you even imagine that in your first couple
No,
years?
not at all, because you know, this is the football capital of the world, college football. And I can remember when we won our first SEC championship in 2006, and we've been in this facility for about 5 years. And we had some pretty good crowds, but I asked one of the smarter girls on the team what percentage of the people in Bryant-Denny equaled the population of Rhodes Stadium. And she said, "Oh, Murph, it's less than 1%, less than 1%. And so I looked around and I saw, you know, at the time, I think it was about 95,000, 90,000. I was like, if I can't get less than 1% of these rabid Alabama fans to come watch us, then they need to get rid of me. I used to tell a buddy of mine, I said, the only thing that really hasn't happened is somebody hasn't scalped a ticket here. And I said, I'll just give you 10 bucks to go outside and say I got 2. And I didn't do it, but he came in one game and said, Murph, you're never going to believe it. Somebody is scalping tickets for softball.
How cool is that?
That's pretty awesome.
And we still have a lot more, so actually that's just part 1. Next week we are going to have part 2, and you're going to hear, I asked him what it's like to be a local celebrity in Alabama, because he really is.
Right.
And his answers are just fantastic.
Yeah,
there's a reason why they're successful.
Absolutely, that's good stuff. Now, next